Good morning, we're Team Cyrex. My name is Ben Son.
I'm Michael Stewart.
And I'm Mason Perrin.
We're here to tell you about our game Tracker. What is Tracker? Tracker is a top-down sci-fi RPG. It's a bounty hunter game set in an expansive sci-fi world. As you can see here, this is kind of, well, it's reminiscent of how the top-down styling will work. In our game, you're a simple character, you're an ex-cop, thrown off the force, and now you need to make it your own way back.
Target audience. Target audience is 18 to 30. It was originally going to be 16 to 30, then we decided that if we were to put it to 16, we wouldn't be able to do what we can do if it was 18. The pie chart near Ben shows what male-female ratio is. So red is more males, showing males, and the orange represents females.
How fun was this thing?
Apart from the sale of the game, well, we're going to be releasing it on Steam and the PC, but if it sells well and goes well, we do have plans to release it on the console. As I mentioned earlier on, we're going to be rating it 18 plus. We're going to be releasing it worldwide all at the same time, so you can get it on the PC and be available on the console if it goes well.
This simple game flow, this is for the intro of the game for the character. You can say it's just a simple intro cutscene. You create your character to your liking, then it goes through the hub world, telling the character about the story and how they can interact with the hub world. Then it goes through a simple through the hub, movement tooltips, all that, NPC interaction. Then you go to move to a separate location. So it's like run through of the level. It's just a generic tutorial without trying to bombard the player with loads of UI saying what to do, how to do it. It just lets them play a level and learn to do that.
For the story, as Ben said, you're an ex-cop. You're thrown a force because of being too rough. And at this point, you've gone to the beginning of the game starts off where you got thrown off the force. You see a cutscene where it shows your character wake up in your apartment. You go to the bank and realise you have no money. So you start walking home, but you see a bounty hunter poster on a wall. You decide to pick it up and take it to the bounty hunting office. You then go to the bounty hunting office and you hand the poster in. And you start the game from there. The story then follows you going through different bounty hunting missions, tracking down different wanted criminals. Throughout the game, you'll encounter a bunch of different enemies. The story mainly open-ended and kind of progresses as you level up and progress through the game and the story. See the beginning cutscene, which is showing the storyboard, which kind of shows the characters going to the bank, getting the bounce poster and then handing it in the end of the game.
Cutscene. We don't want to overwhelm the player with a lot of cutscenes, it's just not really part of the story. It's used to introduce the character, the hub world and the story in general, but you also have a slight cutscene at the start of every new world you go to, just to introduce the player to the world, types of enemies that'll be on it, a brief overview of what the map will do. Moving on to gameplay features. There's interplanetary travel into the game, which is like one of the main features of the game. There's a multitude of planets to choose from, and you get to go to different planets every time you go to a different battle. These planets will have different features in them, so say like the hub world, they have different types of enemies, which will have different mechanics and so on. This also means that the player needs access to a ship. Before they have the ship, they can hire their own, they just take temporary travel and it costs them money. Ship customization. Once the player has a ship, they can customize it. This will cost them money, they wish they gave the bounty. This is just a slight, the UI from Eve, it just shows the way that it kind of works, showing like the speed. And one of the reasons you want to upgrade your ship, because the time in the game still travels as you move between locations, which means if you're taking too long in your ship to move from bounties, you can miss one. You have your own personal squad. This is more of one of the late game features. Once you have built up your money, you can then hire your own bounty hunters. These are just simple screens from XCOM, Assassin's Creed, just showing how the screens will work for when you have your own squad, the menus and such. These people will also gain level. So, like this, guys level 12, and then move through, they have their own skill points, have their own skill trees, you can edit them for yourself. And there's different classes for your different bounty. Temporary teammates, a lot like the ones that you hire yourself, these are only for one mission at a time. So if say you needed one class to complete a mission, you could have it in the squad, you could hire one temporary just for one mission. These would take a cut of the total amount of the That's unique obstacle. This is kind of what they spoke about in the higher rank teammates. Certain levels can't be completed without certain types of classes. So you won't be able to go on a mission if you don't have the class, you know, to waste time getting it and do it. This is just one of the ways that it teaches the player about different characters. It's just so you don't have to sit through on the screen and tell me what a character can do. You can learn it yourself and you can see it in action in your characters. Despite some perks and skill system, you gain levels of experience which you gain through missions and such. So you level up different skill trees. You can see here, just World of Warcraft, when you get to certain tiers of levels, you can proc into different kind of skills. So if you're one of the engineer classes, you can go into like nanotechnology, which will give you higher stats against robots, or you can go into ones which will let you control different robots in the game. Abilities, simple, kind of like an MMO, you see it in the UI later. You just pick the abilities that you want, it's on your skill bar, and then you can use them throughout the mission. Simple. Different classes. This is a big part of the game because in the late game, when you're fighting bigger bosses, you need certain types of classes to be able to get through those missions. A lot of them have passive abilities, like they will take you double damage, or gain damage against robots. There's a varied amount of classes, and you can skill them all differently, so there's a big variety of classes going. It's just a simple HUD. As I said there, there's the ability bars at the bottom, your ammunition for whatever weapon you're using, a health bar, and a minimap at the top right. It's just a simple UI as well. This would be how, we're waiting for the blue look just because more features as well. This is how you would set out the inventory of your classes that you put in the mission. So if you want your rogue, for example, to have certain types of abilities for that mission, you can put the abilities that they will have and they would use it with their own AI.
For our environments, like Ben said, we tried to go for a sci-fi sort of environment style. The first environment starts off with is the hub city, which you get the first bounty, you do first tutorial, and it kind of just sets you up, your shops are there. That's the main sort of place you'll be most of the time. As you see, the environments is just an example of your flat that you start in. You won't really be there much, or mostly be out getting bounties, and then you'll get into a bigger space where you can, like Ben said, track your other bounty hunters that you can hire and you get a base. This is one of the environments. Oh.
Lagging a bit.
Because of the video.
Lagging a bit.
It's because of the video.
Lagging a bit.
There we go. This is one of the first environments that you will be able to get to in the world. As you can see, it's a sort of a lab, experiment lab. It's being disguised as an office building, but it's an experimental lab. This is one of the first environments, and it's a very simple environment. As you see, there's 2 routes going around here and around there. Further on levels in the game will be more difficult and have more routes. Your classes will also play parts of this, where if you're sort of a rogue type character, sort of more stealthy, you can pull for evidence and get around obstacles, or if you're techy, you can hack and open doors to get through other areas for the environments. The different environments will have different characters depending on what planet you're on what level you are. As you can see, for the lab, you've got the main bad guy, some lab researchers, and then just kind of a default sort of drone enemy that will be the main enemy you'll fight. And the boss room, you probably have the boss and then some other tougher enemies which you have to fight for. This is kind of a fly through of one of the environments to show a sort of more close-up look of the environments. As it hasn't been textured yet, the environments will texture later on in development. It's just kind of a general overlook of what these sort of environments will look like in the arcade. These are the types of characters which were designed when we were first coming into the sort of development concept ideas we have. The enemies on that side are just generic enemies you will fight, and this robot here is one of the characters which will be the sort of NPCs that will give you your missions and will be fought with by items and shops. These are the sort of character designs we had when we sort of made a little bit more progress. These are the characters which you can either find in the environment or customize when you start your game mode. These are the sort of options you can pick from to make your character. As you can see, there's different options which you can pick from to make your character. As we went through development, we sort of finalised our designs more, went away from the sort of pixelated characters, went into more of the 3D characters. Like Ben said, our game is a top-down, sort of isometric look of the world, but our characters will be more 3D as we finalise them. These are some of the enemies which you'll experience in the environments before.
DLC. DLC, long as I don't know, it's a DLC chart. If you can't see it, I've got one there. But what it shows is the time frame of what we're planning to achieve in the DLC that we've got. The DLC will contain high level caps, so in the time you can go to new areas, new levels, and then you unlock new missions. You'll also get new planets, which is from part of the new areas, so you get more bounties to complete, which you can't do without the new higher levels. You get new armour, new items, high level bounties, which again, you can't do without the high level cap, which will be released in the first DLC. And then you also get more companions to hire, so you can hire new people, and then also level them up. So to start with the DLC, we're going to start off at a cheap price of a couple of pounds, and then as the DLC increases more, if more DLC gets released, the higher it will be priced at, but we're not looking to release more than 4 to begin with a high cap of about more than £15. Gantt chart, I was about to also give out. We also have on there, if you want to take a look, it shows the pre-production timeline, what Mason talked about, concept art, storyboards, so you can have a look at as well. The production time, we've also got on here, which is in yellow, which you can probably see on the keyboard, which will show about all your production stages, like your environments, your texturing, your models, your characters. Post-production, advertising, it's also on there, and stuff like that. Contingency plan, if anything goes wrong, will also be on there. We've given ourselves a few months for each stage, and contingency plan, we've given ourselves a few months just to make sure everything works. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Are there any questions?